Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, Gary.
Yeah.
Hey, how's
Yep.
it going? How are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing great, man. How
All
about
right.
yourself?
I can't complain. Home alone right now. My wife is currently out of town right now, so I got uh, I
Yeah.
got I got some hours on my hands right now to run some of these phone calls. So I do appreciate you
That's for
calling in
sure.
and taking time out of your day to go ahead and share your stories and open up or help open up people's eyes to the things that happen in the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me back. I appreciate that.
So I was thinking, do you have any
Yeah.
stories, or have you ever witnessed any bad calls? Like good righteous homies that were doing, uh, what was asked of them, and somehow they ended up in bad standings, and they ended up getting moved on, and ended up on the other side.
Well, absolutely. Absolutely. Man, I've been down 26 years, so I was on that side for 18 years, man. I was running the GP for 18 years, so I've seen a lot of things and I was involved in a lot of things. And yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of good people that I knew personally, end up in bad positions, because either somebody was hating on them, envy, jealous, or just didn't like them, you know? They just didn't like them.
Did these stories or these incidents, did they pretty much have all the
Yeah.
same common theme, or did everything, was it always a different story, whether they were bringing in dope and they had money and people didn't like that, or uh,
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
they would always get visits, or I don't know. I mean, I don't know what reasons would somebody hate on the next dude, in prison.
It was okay. Every situation is different, right? But the underlying core, the underlying thing of it was always drugs, money, positions, you know, position of power. Those are like the three underlying things in prison. That's what makes this little world, this little community, go around. Is that, somebody was jealous, somebody was envious because he's the man, he's famous, he's on the yard doing his thing, you know, or he didn't want to kick with me, he didn't want to give me any, he thinks he's better than me. It's many different situations, but the three underlying core issues, it's never changed. It doesn't matter what yard I was on, what prison I was at. It was always just the same old thing, just different players.
And can you share any stories of these things happening? Stories that kind of stick out, like where like they went above and beyond than they normally would, and just something that was just scandalous. Like I can't even imagine, because I've never been to prison, so that's what you're here for, because you could
Mhm.
you could definitely shed
Mhm.
some light on those type of stories.
Mhm. Well, I know one incident years back, right? And again, I mean, it was just, I mean, drugs were involved. Drugs were involved, and as a matter of fact, this happened. This is the incident with me. Is this incident happened with me myself? Right? I was in the shoe. I was in the shoe, and one of the homies was, I mean, was getting in drugs, and for some reason, the powers that be, they they didn't appreciate that he wasn't giving them more than what he was giving them. So mind you, we were going to group yard. I mean, I knew the guy real good. We were tight. We were kicking it, working out all the time. He was my dog. We were in the shoe together. He was my dog. We was chilling. And here they are. Here are all these guys in a position of power. Just tripping on him, you know, and I mean, he's not doing big things. He's just doing a little bit, you know, just so he can get high. That was the bottom line. He just wanted to get high, but he was still kicking in. So they wanted more, and he told them no. And then next thing you know, here comes a kite under my door. Hey, homie, since you know him, since you're closest to him, go ahead and handle that. And it's like, fuck. Here I am, like me and this dude, we were friends. We were cool. You know, as I'm saying, we dogged it in the shoe yard. You know, we didn't talk to a lot of people. We just kept to ourselves in the yard, working out, doing our thing. And here I am. Now I got to go do something to him. And if I say no, then I'm going to be in the same boat he is. You know? And I remember that day. You know, I went out there. You know, I didn't sucker punch him. I didn't hit him from behind. I told him straight up, man. Like, look, this is what it is. This is what's going on, and they want me to do it to you, you know. And he was just like, he told me, nah, don't do it, don't do it. Nah, fool, let somebody else do it. Don't do it, you know. But I was like, man, fool, like, you want somebody else to do it to you, fool? Somebody else to come out here and be scandalous to you, hit you from the back, hit you from the side, like. Nah, like, you know, like, I'll do it, fool. Like, don't trip. You know, I'm not. I'll give you the heads up. Let me know when you're ready, and yeah, and I went ahead and I did it, and after that, you know, I mean, homeboy was put on the shine, you know, and it's just like fuck, man, you know, that was me personally that happened to, you know, so, you know, but all those years that I spent out there, all those years, man, it's just like I seen guys end up in the same similar situation, man. Getting in trouble for drugs, you know, getting in trouble for drugs, and it's just like, fuck, you know what I mean? At that time, you know, it was just like you start to become desensitized to the whole situation. You know, you start to become like, you know, like, oh, all right, like, you know, you feel something for a brief moment, but it passes away because, you know, you can't sit there in your feelings and be like, oh man, and you definitely couldn't come to the rescue or try to help anybody out, because if that's the case, then you just end up in the same boat he's in, you know. And you know, you know, it's like when I first started my prison term back in '98. You know, I mean, these S&Y yards, these protective custody yards, there was only probably 3 of them tops in the whole California Department of Corrections, man. Not even prisons, just 3 yards. But over the years, they started to expand. You know, they started to get more because a lot of people, you know, were just either, you know what I mean, getting pencil work, getting done wrong, you know what I mean, and you know, they tried their best to come back. They tried their best to clean it up or whatever it is they had to do, and it was impossible. They couldn't do it. Either they got under somebody's skin, they pissed somebody off, or they didn't do what they were told, and next thing you know, as the years went by, you know what I mean, these yards, these S&Y yards started getting bigger. There started to be more, and then next thing you know, you got whole prisons that are all S&Y, you know, and it's just like, it's just, you know, there's thousands and thousands of guys who got done wrong, you know, who you know, still hold grudges, still hold resentment. You know, I run into guys like that often over here, like, you know, fuck this, fuck that, fuck this, fuck that. You know what I mean? But no, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, when I was put in my situation, I refused to allow that to define me. You know, like, you know what? This is not going to define who I am. You know, this fake persona that I built up for so long, that we've all built up. We built up this character, this persona, this, you know what I mean? And you know, we put so much stock into it. We put so much blood, sweat, and tears into it. You know, but at the end of the day, man, it's like, it's not who we are. You know, it's not who we are. You know, we got to give, like I told myself, I got to give little Gary a chance now. You know what I mean? I got to give little Gary a chance. You know what I mean? We come to normalize that lifestyle, that warped belief system for so many years, that we tend to believe that it's life. You know, and how is that life, right? How can we normalize that and call that life when the results are, you're going to end up in prison, you're going to end up dead, or more than likely you're going to end up crippled or disabled or just, you know what I mean, messed up in a horrible way, you know? So, you know, it's not life, you know, but But a lot of us, man, start from an early age, from kids, teenagers, and we just come and we believe it. I believed it. I believed it wholeheartedly. Like what I was doing was normal. That what I was doing was right. But once all these things started happening to me, and I'm going through the grinder, and I'm going through the process year after year after year after year, and it's just like, damn, they speak of homie love. They speak of, togetherness, all for one for all that. But at the end of the day, it's not even like that. It's like so far in between those meanings that they put on different words, respect, loyalty, pride. It's like we put our own definitions upon them, and they're not even the right definition for it. We're not even using the right definition for those words. We're corrupting it. We're putting our own meaning upon it, and then
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
and once it comes to the point, it's either you or you or me. It's like right away, it's you. That's what we choose because I don't want nothing to happen to me. I don't want nothing to. I don't want no smut on my jacket. So that's what this lifestyle is. That's what it's built around. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna knock anybody for still living it. But all I can say is, man, is really stop and think about what you're doing. Really stop and take it and really look at yourself and what you're doing, man. Because we say we love our families. We say we love our wife and our kids and all that. But like, they're the first ones that we just throw underfoot when it comes to us, our pride, our image, our neighborhood. You know what I mean? Who we are. What we call ourselves. Like our families are the first ones we hurt. But yet we say they're the ones we love the most. And right away, boom. And so this, that's what I'd like to say, man. Like, coming to prison, I thought it was fun and games, right? Come on, 17 years old getting busted, 18 years old. I thought it was fun and games. But then you start to sit back and the years go by and you start to see the reality of prison. Prison it's a dangerous place, man. It's a treacherous place, but it's also a lonely place, man. Prison is a lonely place to be in. It's a lonely place to be in. Everything you do throughout the day, you're by yourself in here. Yeah, you call your family. Yeah, you give visits. But, you go to sleep by yourself at night. You wake up in the morning by yourself at night. You go out through the day, by yourself. Yeah, you say what's up. You hang around. You socialize. You talk. You know what I mean? But it's a lonely motherfucking place. Excuse my language. But yeah, guys like that, like I know, for instance, like one guy, right? One guy that I know, man. This guy, he refused to, even though he was in a bad position, right? He refused to call it quits. He kept on going out there and getting moved on, and I remember asking him, like, dude, like, what's wrong with you? Are you fucking crazy? Or, like, are you stupid or something? Like, what's wrong with you? You don't value your life? But he was like, nah, man, that whole that whole death before dishonor type thing. You know what I mean? And finally he did lock it up. Finally he did. But I was just so shocked, like, why put yourself through that? All those times. Why put yourself out there? Why put your life on the line when ultimately you did what you did? You were just going to say, you know what? All right, I'm done. That's it. I'm calling it quits. Hanging up my gloves. And it's just like...
You have 60 seconds remaining.
It's mind-blowing how us as individuals put so much strength and so much energy behind this, the barrio, the neighborhood, the gang. It's wild, man. It's mind-blowing. Hello?
Gary, yeah, I'm here.
I think I got a minute, James.
Yeah.
You want me to call you back?
Yeah. If you don't know, if you don't mind, yeah, go ahead and call us back, and we'll be here waiting for you.
Let me call you back.
All right, and now I just want to go ahead and thank all of you for tuning in. I see the normal supporters that are in here. I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to M-Star Media, Mad Max 408, Aquatic Amigo, El Iceman, And that's it. That's what we have in here right now. That's supporting. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And anybody else that's not posting up in the comments, appreciate you being in here. Gary should be calling us back in the next few minutes or the next few seconds or so, and then he'll go ahead and continue with his stories. Today I'm gonna have quite a few phone calls today. At 6 o'clock I have Ricky Black calling in, and then at I think like at about 8:30 or so we're gonna have Silas Johnson come on.
This call is now being
This is
recorded.
Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Gary.
an inmate at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hello, Gary.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, thank you for calling back. And I just want to share
no
with you,
problem, man.
who's in here, listening to your story and showing the channel support. We have M Star Media, she's always coming in here, and also Mad Max 408. He sends saludos. And then also M Star Media, she's sending saludos. And then we have Aquatic Amigo, wishing us a good evening. And who else do we have in here? We have El Iceman, giving us the peace sign, and pretty much everybody in here, they're agreeing with you, with what you're speaking on. And then Mad Max puts in there, it's a lonely as existence. And he also puts, I've known a few.
That's the truth, man.
Yeah.
Hey.
He put, I've known a few homies like that. They refuse to see that their career was over. So. And they're saying that they appreciate you sharing these stories, so really really appreciate it. And then I'm gonna go ahead and give over the mic over to you.
Man.
You know what?
I appreciate you guys tuning in. What's up, man?
You know what? It's funny because I used to, I love consuming this like this prison content, whether it was National Geographic's Lock Up Raw. And YouTube, and then now I get to interact like with individuals like yourself, and I get to as the questions that I've thought about when I'm watching these shows and whatnot. So it sucks for you, you're obviously in a pretty messed up situation, but it's cool that you could share these stories with the people that are out here, and maybe to help somebody open their eyes, or stop them from making a bad decision, and they end up in a place like that, in a situation.
Absolutely, man. Because we as a people, right? We as a society, we as a as a nationality, we gotta break those cycles, man. Okay, take for instance, right? Last year, right? I'm here. I just get to this prison. Somebody drives up, right? And the cop's telling me, like, hey, do you have any brothers? Do you got any kids? And I'm like, no, why? Like, why? What's up? And he was like, well, there's somebody right here. What's your last name? And he's old enough to be your kid, man. How long you been down? And I was like, what the fuck? So I go to the cell door, right? I go to the cell door, and I'm looking at him, and I'm like, man, like, who are you? And it turned out to be, right, my cousin's kid that he had back in, like, man, I was already in prison at that time. And it was just so wild because he looked just like his father. And that's the first time I met him, right, in prison. I heard about him. I remember when he was born. I remember when they told me, and, like, 20 years later, here's this fucking kid, and he's in prison. And I was just so blown away, like, what are you doing in prison, dude? Like, what the fuck's going on, And it's mind-blowing because, this is the side of my family, right? Like, they didn't grow up in Nevada, they didn't, they were living in a two-story house in a nice neighborhood, and, it's just like, he was living. His grandma had custody of him, which is my tia, and it's just like what the fuck are you doing in here? Thank God he didn't have a life sentence. He went home about like 7 months later, and he's still out there. But it was just so mind blowing. I mean, here I am. I remember when this kid was born. I remember seeing baby pictures of him, and now I'm seeing him, and he's looking at me, and I'm just like, wow, it broke my heart, man. It broke my heart, because, I feel the same way when I see all these youngsters, right? Like, I'm the old guy now. I'm the old guy in prison now. Everybody calls me OG. All right, OG. And it's like, what the fuck? I remember when I was a young one, when I was fucking 20, 21 years old, and it's just crazy how time has passed by and how long have I been in here. And, and I remember when I was that age, the people I had to look up to, they weren't good examples. And let's just put that out there. I thought they were good examples, the older homies. I'm listening to them, modeling myself after them, but it was a bunch of BS. So now, it's like, you know what? I don't want to be part of that cycle no more. I don't want to be part of that warped belief, that, all that nonsense, So I try to be better, man. I do everything in my power to present myself in a better light, in a better way, so that way when the youngsters say, hey, what's up, OG? And, they don't even got to talk to me. People see me. People know. A lot of people on this yard know who I am. They know who Gary is. Gary's a guy, man, who's fucking just pushing, doing the right thing, man. They know that. And they know they can come and talk to me any time of the day. They know if they got something going on in their mind, maybe a problem they're going through, and they want to sit down and talk, I'm there. I'm available. And I do that. My door's always open. And if I can help you out with something, I got you, man. That's my character now. But it's just like, prison, man. I don't wish prison on nobody, man. Prison is like a world unto itself, and it's not a nice world. You know what I mean?
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Prison is not a nice place. No matter how much we try to glamorize it, no matter how much we try to put a good light upon it. Prison is not a nice place at all, man. I don't wish it upon nobody, especially now with the holidays coming up. You got Thanksgiving coming up, you got Christmas, you got New Year's. Like, fuck. We should be out there with the people we love. Our friends, our family. We should be out there. Around the dinner table. We cutting up some turkey or eating some tamales or something. Yeah.
Yeah, man, those tamales, man, oh, they're the best, man.
No, I believe it. Hey, the couple of the guys in here, they want to make homemade prison tamales. So I'm like, all right, I'll pitch it, see how it comes out. You know what I mean? You see if you can work your magic, but they don't taste the same like the real ones, man. They do not taste the same like the real ones. Yeah.
Gary, I'm gonna go ahead because there's a few messages in here for you, and I definitely want to read them because if not, I'll forget.
No, absolutely.
But let me see. So who do we have here? So El Iceman puts, "Keep your head up, Gary. Sorry about the news about the board last week. Stay positive." And then
absolutely, thank you.
And then Mad Max 408 put, Iceman, yeah, bro, that was terrible news from the board. But Gary is handling it like a man and doing what he needs to do. So that's always good, Gary, because people are listening to these stories, and you gotta stay on stay positive, and don't fall back into those old ways, because I'm sure on your next board hearing, you're definitely gonna be going home. How many times can they deny you? Like if you're doing good, and I mean, they gotta let you go home. So
Exactly.
stay positive.
Exactly. Oh, absolutely, man. Going back, going back to that lifestyle, like the addiction, the gangs, all that. That's the easy part. I mean, that's easy. That's always going to be there. I mean, I pray that it will go away someday. But it's been around for fucking generation upon generation. But that's always going to be there. That's the easy thing. That's just one thought and one bad decision away. But there's one thing I tell myself, like, I never ever again want to be that person who I was. I never want to go back to I want to be better than that. I want to do better. And you know, I want a life. You know what I mean? And what I'm doing, where I'm at, it's going to give me that. It's going to give me that life that I want. So that I want, that that man. It's like, I crave it sometimes. It's like, fuck, lately, right? Lately,
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
lately, my prima's been sending me pictures from the past, right? Flashbacks, and I was, we 14, 15, and we're out partying and we're out hanging out, and and an ex-girlfriend of mine, and it's just like, man, it's like for the first time in a long time, I got homesick. I got that gut feeling of homesickness, and it's just like, man, I need to get out. I need to go home. And I know that what I'm doing now, it's going to get me there, man. It's going to get me there. I just got to be patient. That's it. I just got to be patient. You know what I mean? I'm not looking for the commissioners, the board to to give me the okay. You know what I mean? To like, okay, what you're doing is right. I know what I'm doing is right. You know what I mean? I know who I am is right today. So I don't need your validation. I don't need, only validation I need is, from my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. And the board ain't gonna tell me nothing that I don't already know. You know what I mean? I know I'm doing right. I've been doing right. You know what I mean? So one day, you gotta let me go. You can't hold me in there forever. You know what I mean? They really didn't. They really didn't give me excuse this time, but they give me now. They just said we need distance. We need a little distance. All right, okay, whatever that means. All right, I'll give it to you. But yeah, it's just like, because coming in back in the day, man, life meant life, right? Like I lost all hope. There was no hope. You know what I mean? I came to the realization that I'm never getting out of prison. I'm gonna die in here, and that was that. You know what I mean? And I told myself, I basically lied to myself that I was okay with that. You know what I mean? But again, man, that lie, that just led me down a path, man, that fuck, it was not good. It was a destructive path, man. Substance abuse, violence, gangs, shoot terms, getting into trouble, hurting other people, hurting myself, and again, hurting the people that I said I loved. You know what I mean? And it just prolonged me being away from them. It prolonged my life that I want so badly out there in society. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of things that I had to come to terms with. There's a lot of things that I had to come to terms with, and within my own family as well. I had to come to terms with a lot of people in my family that it just, what? They're just not healthy for me. You know what I mean? They're not healthy for me. They're not conducive to Gary's recovery, to my change. So I had to make more tough decisions. You know what I mean? More, like, okay, I'm just gonna have to just end these relationships, back on up for a little bit. You know what I mean? More than likely, it's probably gonna be forever, permanently, because it's not the people, like, it's not the family. Like, I love my family, right? But it's the behavior that they're doing that I don't agree with. The actions that they're still involved in, everything they're still doing, like, that's what I don't agree with. And you know what I mean? And where I want to go, I just can't bring you along with me. Because once I get out, I'm not coming back to prison under any circumstances or for nobody. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be a square bear, straight up. Man, I'm gonna be one of those citizens. I'm gonna get involved in neighborhood watch the whole night. Like, I'm gonna protect the community. Fuck that. I ain't coming back to prison, man.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm sorry, Gary.
Yeah.
I just put it on mute so like that if I make any noise in the background, you guys can't hear it. But I definitely don't want to forget your cousin's in here. She showed up a little bit late, but she's in here, Marilyn, and she's,
Marlene. Marlene,
sorry,
my cousin
Marlene.
Marlene.
Marlene, yeah.
Yeah. She was like, why does he keep on calling me Marilyn? I don't correct that.
Thanks, Gary. Oh, man. But
yeah, my cousin Marlene, man, and my sister, my brother-in-law, and and you know what I mean, and my primo Sapo, and his kids, like, man, they're major supporters of my support network, man, like top notch, man. Like, if it wasn't for them, man, you know what I mean, it'd be more lonely for me. Let's put it that way. You know what I mean? It'd be more lonely for me, man. But to have them in my corner, to have them supporting me, it's like, man, I'm grateful, man. You know, I'm the happiest man in the world. You know?
Yeah, I mean, hey,
You have 60 seconds
you
remaining.
definitely have a good support
Mm.
system when it comes to your family. And
Hey, hey, and I gotta thank you too, bro, because before coming on this, like I didn't realize how big of a support network I really did have. But coming onto your podcast and everybody chiming in and me, I mean, everybody getting at me, it's just like man, you know, what I mean, it touches me, man. Really deep down, man, it touches me very, you know, very deeply, and I'm grateful. I really do appreciate it, man. Words can't even express how I feel when I see that support when I hear it, man. So thank you too, bro. Like I really do appreciate it.
oh man, you're welcome. It's just my way of trying to give back, and trying to do some of the stuff I did as a kid, and I'm pretty sure I led some people down the wrong path. So I'm trying to balance that out. So that's one of the reasons that I am
Oh,
doing
absolutely.
this, because I do realize um, that that even though I didn't join a gang or participated in violent acts, I still, I hold some responsibility, leading some people, down a way that they never imagined they were gonna go down, and I never imagined they were gonna go down. So that's one of the main reasons that I am doing this. And the call just from Gary just cut off. He should be calling back shortly. So there we go.
This call is now
This
being
is
recorded.
Global Tel Link. You have a prepaid call from
Gary.
an inmate at the Centinela State Prison, Centinela, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. You have a prepaid call. You will not be charged for this call. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tel Link.
Hey Gary, thank you,
Hello.
for calling back. And I just wanna go ahead and respond to one of the a comment on here. Eliasman puts James can't read. You know what? I've never been comfortable, reading in public, or even public speaking or whatnot. I've never That's never been one of my
Yeah.
strong points. As a kid, like when the teachers used to ask me to read in the classroom, I was never comfortable. And
Yeah.
the way I read out loud is not the way that I read, when I'm reading in my mind. So
I got you. I got you.
I am
Oh,
aware. I am aware that
yeah.
I know my wife was getting on, she was getting on my bumper about the way I read. I read out, but I was telling her, it's just it's not something that I do on purpose. It's just I'm just not comfortable
Yeah.
reading in public, and I do get nervous. So
Yeah. No, absolutely, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I just wanted to go ahead and throw that out there for the people that are listening. Yeah, I'm horrible when it comes to reading in public,
Yeah.
and that's what it is.
Take it easy. Take it easy on them, people. Don't give them a hard time. Hey,
But you know what? I want to get back to something that you did say, that about you didn't realize that
yeah.
you did have that you didn't know that you had a big support system. Out of everybody that has been on this podcast, you've had the biggest support out of everybody. So I do,
Yeah.
I
Hey.
go ahead.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. No, no. Thank you. You know what I mean? Like, just to everybody out there, man. That supported me. Like, thank you, man. Like, I really do appreciate it. I am grateful. And God willing, I know one day, I'll be out there. We'll be together. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? We'll create new memories, new laughs, good times, and just enjoy each other's company. And just be amongst that whole family and friends, and just just being one. And I really do appreciate it, James, because I thought that coming over here, right? That it rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Because definitely, especially all these years, you don't hear from certain people, so they think, you think, oh, they forgot about you, or all you get is a, hey, what's up? Every time they see somebody who does talk to you, tell them I said hi. So what I mean, and I came to believe, that's it. That's all I was gonna, get, But you giving me this platform and allowing me to come on here, it just showed me a whole different picture, a whole different light, and it's just like, man, it makes me feel all warm inside, man. It makes me feel all, all teary-eyed, and it's just like, wow, bro, like, wow, like people out there do care, they do still believe in me, they support me, and it's just like I'm extremely grateful, from family, from friends, what I mean.
This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded.
Even people from back in the day, in my teenage days and the kids' days, friends that I haven't spoken to for years, they're just like giving shout outs. Hey, man, I send my love, I support you. And, man, that means a lot, man. I really do. That means a lot.
And we have one of your other family members, and this one I won't mess up. This one's an easy one. Is going to be Kim C. She put, love you, Gary. You're the strongest, and we are always here for you.
Yeah. Yep, that's my primo right there. Yeah, I just got pictures too of them. They took a little girl to Disneyland this past Wednesday, man, and it's just a beautiful thing to see that. It's just a beautiful thing, man, to see that. Thank you.
Great. And then somebody, let me see. Somebody just put a comment about me wanting to be anonymous. Yeah, that is correct. I'm not too interested in
Yeah.
sharing my identity and whatnot. I'm not doing this to get like any type of recognition. I don't want to be be recognized out in public and whatnot. And especially
Yeah.
with the type of work that I do, if my coworkers ever found out about something like this, I'm pretty sure they would somehow, some way, try to use it to get me fired. So I'm not I'm not trying to do any of that. I just
Absolutely.
pretty much. I mean, it's not my story that I'm trying to share. Even though I throw out here bits and pieces about my life. The people that are on here, they're the ones that I want to get their stories out. So
No, absolutely.
yeah.
Absolutely. Especially, you know, especially if it can just help, what I mean, just if it just helps one, or God willing, it helps more than one. Just just to stop and just to, what am I doing? They start to ask themselves that. What I mean, what am I doing, man? Why am I doing this? And that'll be great, man. That'll be great. Because what I mean, prison. Over the years, prison has come a long way, right? Prison has made a lot of strides to rehabilitate, to change, to be better. But sometimes I think, like, why do it in here? Why don't we do it out there? What I mean? Where it all starts, in the household, the home, the family unit, the schools, the after-school programs, the kids, the teenagers, the neighborhood. Why don't we do it then? What I mean? Why do we gotta wait till they come into prison and then you offer all these things? Like, let's do it, when they're young, man, because that's what gangs do. They attract all the young ones, the ones who are going to be easily manipulated, easily controlled, what I mean, easily, to believe what you have to say. So it's just like, like, let's start there. That's where I'm at in this. My sister says it's the activist side of me, but it's just like, it's the truth, man. Like, let's start there, man. To the kids, man. Let's help them out in the poor neighborhoods, the rundown neighborhoods. Let's put money back into it. The schools, after school programs, even, what I mean, even, because when I was growing up, with Little League, Pop Warner football, now, I'm pretty sure others still out there. Let's help them out then, man. So they don't have to go through this. Yeah, California's getting rid of the youth authorities, and that's great, man. That's great. You know what I mean? But it's just like, okay, so what are you going to do? You send them straight to prison? You're getting rid of the California youth authorities, and, so you're just going to send them straight to prison now?
Yeah.
So it's like, what I mean, those strides are great. What I mean, it's a start. It's a start, but it's just like, it just breaks my heart. What I mean? When I can see all these young kids, I call them kids, man. They're half my age, 19, 20, 21. It's just like, man, just like I was telling somebody today, we're out there in the day room, and I was like, man, fool, you weren't even born yet when I first came to prison. Like, what the fuck? It's just mind blowing, bro. Like, man, like, dude, like, you need to get out, man. You need to stay out. You need to change your life, man. Don't come back to this place. Prison is not the place to be. There's nothing here. There's nothing here for nobody. There's nothing here, man. Go out there, do the right thing, take care of your business, bro, and I guarantee you'll have a great life. You'll have a worry, stress-free life, And it's just like, man.
And then I also got some other comments from some other family members. So we have so Kim C put
Yeah.
we'll see you soon. Don't stress. Kim, Art, Viv, and Baby Art. And then we also have
Yeah.
Reggie. Love you, brother. Me and mom will be listening to the full thing. And let me see. We got Pomona Queen. Hey, Gary, we're listening. Vivi and Susan.
Yeah.
And then let me see.
Yeah,
what else.
my
I don't want to
family
miss
right
any of your
there.
family members because they're huge supporters. And
Yeah, those are my family, man. Great support right there. Mm.
so yeah. I want to thank you. Just to give you a heads up, at 6 o'clock, I have a scheduled call with
No,
Ricky.
absolutely.
With
All
Ricky.
right.
So if he calls me,
Oh yeah, Ricky. All right, the brother Ricky.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Now go ahead. Hey, go ahead, because as a matter of fact, I gotta go finish up a couple of things right now too. So man, just thank you again, bro, for having me on. I really do appreciate it for you welcoming me back to this podcast, bro. And man, I just hope you keep it going, man. Keep it going, and I'll do my very best to hop on here and give insight and share my life story and my experiences, man. And hopefully, it helps somebody out, man. It definitely helped me out.
You know what, Gary? I just want to mention something to you. I like your attitude.
Yeah.
Like the way you speak, the way you carry yourself. Even though the things you've been through in life, the sentence that you got and what you've been going through with the parole board. I admire that. Like, cause somebody else would have just thrown in the towel and they were like, hey, saca la bolsita. And that would have been it.
Yeah.
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 And you haven't done that, so I do like that. And like I said, I mean, you have a really good attitude. So definitely, you're gonna be coming back on, as much as you want to come on. And I'm gonna be free tomorrow. I'm gonna have some time later on in the evening if you want to jump on, and then we'll go ahead and maybe we'll bring 2 or 3 of you on at the same time, because I just upgraded my system and I haven't even tested it out yet. So maybe we could get a little panel going and have a conversation with
definitely
with you and the fella. So I would
all right.
And I'm sure
All
the
right,
audience
man.
would enjoy that also. So
Yeah. All right, man. Thank you. You go ahead and have a blessed night, man. You know what I mean? And hopefully, God willing, I'll talk to you soon.
all right, perfect. I'll reach out to you through the app and we could set something up, and we'll definitely be talking.
Cool.
And for the audience, just want to let you know, I should be starting another stream shortly as soon as our Ricky Black calls me, and then also we have another call coming up at about 8:30 or so with Silas Johnson. So stay tuned, and we'll see you back shortly.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Hey, to everybody out there, man, thank you for listening in. Tell your friends, man. Show some love, show some support, man. Really do appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. You guys go ahead and have a good evening. Bye.
All right.